Good evening, good morning, Grouchy Baptist Church. Today I have for you a Q&A. First thing you might notice though is the fact that we just got a new pulpit. I don't know how well you could see me, but I do hope that you could see me quite well. I have no idea. So, the first thing you might ask us, question number 1. How many hours a week is Grouchy Baptist Church open? Well, I could tell you we are open pretty much throughout the week. We don't really close much. So if you ever want to know how often do we close, not very often. We do work from 9 to 5 during the weekdays. And then on the weekends, we work, Saturdays, we work 9 to 5:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And then on Sundays now, it's 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Most of the time it's 9 to 9, but if we get a good day of working, we could go as early as 5:30. Question number 2. Question number 2. What type of music do you play? Well, we typically like to stick to traditional gospel, older music. We don't normally get into the modern music. We are a very old school church. So, which brings us to number 3. Why do you play very old music? It's really out of respect for back in the days where Christianity was taken serious. That's why music is played from back then. So as you see, we got a new pulpit, which brings us to question number 4. Why was the church closed for 2 days? It was closed because, as you see in the videos, we had to rip out both of these paths, this path and the pulpit, and replace it with stone, which explains why we were closed and gone. Question number 4. How much money does it cost to run the church? Well, it pretty much does cost up to about $100 a year. And that is not counting the light bill. That is not counting light or water bills. That is counting mainly the operational costs to keep the garden looking good. Like we pay for mulch. We just paid $45 for a stone. So that much. Question number 6. What are 5 things that pastors typically dislike or don't care for? Well, the 5 things I could say is healthy to say that we don't really like. First of all, no pastor really likes sin. Yeah, no pastor really likes sin. And then, of course, yes, our job is to help people, but we don't like to be bugged either. So if you ever seen the show The Simpsons, where Ned Flanders, every time he does something just a little tiny bit wrong, he calls the reverend for prayer. Every time you need prayer, you call the pastor. Well, we don't like to be bugged and bothered every second of the day for the most trivial of things. even though that is our job. The third thing that pastors don't really like or care for is when, of course, we always dislike when anybody come and try to take stuff from the church that doesn't belong to them, stealing from the church. Of course, although it's not a problem with some pastors, because they'll just replace and get a better one anyway. Somebody broke this light, well, it broke on its own, we got a better one. So, that's the third thing pastors don't like, people stealing from the church. Third thing pastors don't like is, especially, now this one is serious. This one is the most serious. Even though pastors typically do better with self-control than the average public, one thing I do know, especially me as a pastor, we do not like it when people discredit us and the Bible. Now, as good self-control as we show it and rebuke it properly, we don't like that. Nobody likes to hear that their teaching is wrong, especially when it comes straight from the Bible. Now, just because you don't like it doesn't necessarily mean we're mean about it. And then the fifth thing that pastors don't like, of course, is dealing with rude or hostile people when they're trying to preach. No teacher likes that either. Teachers want to just teach and help people and get out of there. They don't want to deal with rude people. So pastors don't like dealing with rude people either. It's like in a church setting. Church setting is almost like a classroom setting. We don't like that. Okay. So question number 8. Who is First Lady Sinclair? Well, First Lady Sinclair is my mom. And just so you say, well, aren't you a little too old to have your mom involved in everything? I'm only 14 years old. And that was question number 9. How old are you? I am 14 years old. Born 2003. So, yeah, I don't have a girlfriend because I don't believe in having a girlfriend until you're fully an adult. Okay? You have to be 18 before you have a girlfriend. And I'm not getting married. I'm not having kids until my brain fully develops at the age of 26. So you see how I take things slow like they used to back in the days. Another back in the days influence. Question number 10. Now this one is the most frequent. Why am I the only one ever on camera? Well, if you were to watch the video with me during Christmas, Silent Night, well, my First Lady Sinclair would be in that video. I'm going to leave a link right down below here so you could go check it out. But she is in that video, Silent Night. So, reason why I'm the only one here, I have 21 other employees, but they work overseas or they work strictly on the internet. People do come here. Matter of fact, somebody's actually following me around with the camera. And then I'm not the only one during services. We have audience that sit out here too. You just don't leave the chair set up. So there goes the